directors. I want to remind you that you are still on the hold before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you, Madam Chair. Over to you.
Um, Good afternoon, Mr. Batchily.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Mr. Batchily, were you able to get some of the documents that we told you yesterday?
Yeah, I'm trying to get them on Thursday. So that's get the full set.
That,
So I've got three-quarter of them,
yes.
but I want to make sure I got everything.
No. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Lead counsel, you can proceed.
Mr. Bacheli, the voucher with respect to the support towards Dakar Open Championship in Senegal.
Yes.
Before we close, I was just telling you that payments made outside your jurisdiction, especially in Senegal, please have it. Yes, what is that payment about?
This is about support towards the Dakar Open Championship in Senegal.
And who is the money paid to?
Let me check. The money is paid to an individual called Baba Sar.
Baba Sal.
Sar.
Sal, who is Baba Sal?
That is one of the facilitators of this program.
But yeah, but who is he? It's a Gambia?
Just yeah, I guess he's a Gambian there because he heads the
We
Taekwondo Gambia Taekwondo Association.
Gambia?
Taekwondo Association.
Okay, please let me see. Taekwondo. Okay, it is to participate in the Dakar Open Championship.
Yeah,
But the ones seeking for this sponsor are Gambians.
there is a Gambian association, Gambian registered association, sports association.
The other voucher is also for Singapore. Chilean, $30,000 council support towards upcoming playback on 26th of February 2022. The usual way. Contribution. CEO, please contribute this sum of $30,000 only. Signed by the mail. We have one for $30,000 contribution towards upcoming Gamma. The same CEO, please facilitate the amount of $30,000 only for council's contribution. The other set of vouchers are for Isedun Jai. Who's Isedun Jai?
There were two intermediaries. One was PA to the mayor, and the other one was Rafella coordinator.
What one was?
PA to the mayor, and then the other one was with the Rafella.
As it was given an impression of $15,000 for the facilitation of a visa for the mayor. And I said to guy, Rafella, was it retired?
Please, can I kindly have the voucher, please? Yeah, this is Asatinjai, the PA to the mayor. She went to facilitate the visa
Who was the impress retired?
in Dakar.
Was the impress retired?
Should have been retired.
But it's not retired.
Should have been retired.
Was that is a cash payment or because we don't see a check here?
The check should have been attached
But there's no check attached.
because it could not be a cash payment. Definitely.
It appears to be a cash payment because there's no check attached.
Yeah,
You can get a copy
yeah.
of it. We have another $30,000 from pay to IC2 Njai, Lady Councilor. Disbursement as council's contribution towards Rafella.
Yes.
Why were you financing so many Rafella activities?
This one should have had that, I think. Yeah, part of the expenditures we made to the family emanated from the fact that, like they had a memorandum of understanding.
It's what?
They had a memorandum of understanding.
It's
with,
what?
I say, they had a memorandum of understanding.
Yes.
With the council.
Right.
With regards to some of their activities.
Yes, some.
Yes. So that was the basis on which subset payments were made.
But what is the legality of this, Mr. Batchily? The memorandum of understanding, what do you guys gain from Rafella?
Rafella registered some progress in Banyo.
Some?
Like Rafella has brought about the Bloomberg, which was the cleaning of Banjo by the residents. And then the other one is the fruits and vegetables section of the market.
Why were you funding Rafella?
That's what I'm saying. It was based on the memorandum of understanding we had with them.
Signed by?
Signed by the mayor and myself.
The mayor is a party to it.
Yes.
So how can she sign the MOU?
Yes, he signed representing the council. And I signed.
Was it taken to council?
Yeah, the fellow was taken to council.
Issue was taken to council.
Yes.
Do you have the minutes for that?
I'll provide the minutes for that.
We have so many payments made to Rafella.
Mm.
So, but we'll wait for you to bring the minutes so that we can discuss it.
Okay.
We also have payments as well made to Isatunjai. Yes.
Mr. Batchily,
Yes, ma'am.
I'll give you a copy of the memorandum of understanding between BCC and Rafella, which has been admitted in evidence.
Yeah.
Um, Kindly show us in this memorandum of understanding where it has indicated BCC's responsibility in funding Rafella activities.
I want to make reference to the first, the fourth page.
Kindly read. Kindly read.
Yeah, the fourth page on the purpose stroke commitment. So this MOU commits the Banjul State Council to facilitate the funding of activities of Rafella,
What? To provide?
to facilitate funding of activities
Yes.
of Rafella where and when possible.
Where?
Where and when possible.
Where they are?
Where and when possible.
Possible. All right.
Under that, we have the Banjul City Council, therefore shall contribute to the operational cost of Rafella by the way of paying allowances to Rafella coordinators, i.e. Rafella National Coordinator, Rafella Regional Coordinator for KMC Municipality, Rafella Regional Coordinator for Lower River, Rafella Accounts Manager, and then this staff of Rafella shall be responsible for the following: coordinating administration of Rafella, preparation of project proposals, and implementation of projects. And number four,
Yes. Yes. Okay.
the overall operations of Rafella, both at national and international level, supervision of Rafella chapters in the region, attending Rafella forums, coordination between Rafella, the Gambia government, and other stakeholders.
Now, my question is, you've been asked by lead counsel whether this was sent to the council for them to deliberate upon the document and understand the obligations of BCC towards Rafella. You've just read me the provision, right?
Yes.
But now my question is, from your understanding, do you think, um, based on what you have read, is it correct based on the legislations that govern uh, uh, the operations of council? Should this have happened?
You mean my personal opinion?
No, your professional opinion.
Okay.
Your opinion as the CEO.
All right.
Because this, you have been asked to provide the minutes. We will see what discussions
Yeah.
ensued when this was presented
Yeah.
at council
Yeah.
for discussion for ratification so that you can proceed to do activities with Rafael.
Yeah, yeah,
We will see that in the minutes,
yeah.
in the resolutions and in the minutes.
Yes.
So now I said, from your professional standpoint, do you think signing this and committing BCC was it um, was it the right thing to do?
Well, it emanated from the fact that the Raffaello matter was first taken to council, and council agreed to cooperate and work with them. That was the basis on which we had a justification to spend,
Okay.
based from our own
Well,
point of view.
when we see the resolutions from council
Okay.
and when we see the deliberations,
All right. Okay.
you will ask me the further questions that we want to ask.
Okay.
And so, just last question on this issue of Raffaella. You have stated that you have spent 2,089,000 32.31 on Raffaella activities. Part of what is seen in the vouchers,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And this was queried by the National Audit Office. What was your response to the query by the National Audit Office for spending this money, which is just a portion of what they have seen?
I
What was your response?
because the thing is,
Did you respond?
the final council responded, but I think this coincided.
Yes, please note it. Please provide us with the response.
Okay. All right.
Because I have not seen any response. Then you can explain. Thank you. Please note that for unauthorized Raffaella allowances totaling to 359,400,
Yeah.
you also provide us with evidences of all of this. Your response to this issue
Okay.
that was queried also. Yes, you were explaining something.
No, no, it's all right.
Yes, okay.
It's okay.
Council, please.
Um, Mr. Batchily,
Yes,
the
sir.
$89,900 is disbursement to IC to Njai. Was this a Raffaella activity? Was it supposed to be a Raffaella activity?
Can I kindly have a look?
Is this supposed to be a Raffaella activity?
In relationship to which activity?
The $89,900 is payment made to Aislinn Njai, Mayor's personal assistant.
Yeah, with regards to.
With regards to a trip to Washington DC.
Can I kindly ask which of the SFNJs was it the PA or
Mayor's personal assistant. It reads.
yes?
Yes, the PA.
Yeah.
Let me show you the
Please.
And I thought I was- Is that a Raffaella activity?
This is not a Rafella activity. This was a program. Asatunjaya was nominated by the mayor to attend.
Estrella was not nominated by the mayor in just like that. In fact, the mayor was supposed to be the one to attend.
Yes, but that's why I said she's the one who might have nominated.
She had requested for President Jai
Yes.
to also attend.
Yeah.
Why did you allow it? Because she had no business in that meeting. Or do you think otherwise, going by the documents?
No, what I could just see is that like she was nominated by the
Yeah, but she has no business in that meeting.
attend.
If the mayor cannot be present in a meeting, who deputizes the mayor?
Should have been the deputy mayor
Why President Jai?
because Asatunjaya was chosen by her.
On why was it allowed? Let me read to you. There's an invitation sent today to Royal Malik Law from Women's Democracy Network, 6th of December 2018 says the International Republican Institute Women's Democracy Network is pleased to invite you to our annual International Women's Day conference from the 4th to the 8th of March 2019 in Washington, D.C. This conference will bring together women mayors from around the world to meet with American decision makers and to learn best practices from their peers. The conference will support women mayors to develop policies that are reflective of the local and national priorities of their respective countries. This is an opportunity to build greater solidarity among women in elected office, which is critical to forge alliances and inspire future generations to seek office. As a member of this year's delegation, you will have the opportunity to learn strategies to implement effective policies that address economic growth, citizen security, service delivery, and smart governance, as well as meet with a diversity of leaders in the United States. In addition, you will be acknowledged at WDN's annual Jean Kirkpatrick Award ceremony, which honors women who have made outstanding contribution to advancement of women in political and civic leadership. WDN fully understands the demands that your responsibilities place upon you. Therefore, we ask you to carefully consider your availability to commit to attending the IWD conference in its entirety as we tailor our program to the backgrounds and aspirations of the participants. If you are unable to attend this year's conference, we will continue to seek opportunities for you in the future. You see that? So if you can attend this year's conference, WDN will arrange and fund your round-trip economic airfare to the United States, your lodging in Washington, D.C., and all meals during the conference, as well as reimbursed fees required to obtain necessary travel visas. For planning purposes, please be aware that the participants will need to arrive in the United States and so on and so forth. Now, this was on the 6th of December 2018. Now, there was another letter from the same organizers about Asidun Jai. It is in January 3rd, 2019, a month after. But there, it is there Asidun Jai. The International Republican Institute Women's Democracy Network is pleased to invite you to our annual International Women's Day conference from the 4th to the 8th of March 2019, Washington, D.C. As a guest of Rahim Malik Law. As a guest of Mayor Rahim Malik Law. What does that mean? Or should I read it again?
All right. I just wanted to react.
Okay.
So I don't know whether
Before I proceed, yes.
I should wait. I should wait. I should wait until you're done.
Right.
Okay. Let me come back with my institutional experiences. Normally, if the mayor is invited to attend such international forums, what I was used to, or what I experienced was that if, let's say, the mayor cannot go, the mayor can, for example, delegate the deputy mayor, or, for example, delegate a councillor, or maybe delegate, in some cases, myself as the CEO. depending because it's dependent on the rank, the higher, the more suitable. That is what I really don't understand since I joined council. But like I said, when this mayor came, she institutionalized the use of selecting people at random at times, I would call it, at random. And once again, like I say, I would also be very honest. I've never written, but I've made a lot of interventions. That look, you might be doing this because it seems discretionary to you, but I don't think this is the best practice because you are the mayor, you are on top. If you want somebody else to represent you at an international forum, I don't think you have to go as low as people who are grade 6, grade 8, or grade 9. For me personally, that was not the norm that I was used to. But like I say, the precedence has already been set because the council agreed for personal assistance to be following her. The councillors agreed for people much lower the ladder to follow her. The president of the ministry. But if you ask me personally, what do I feel about this? I would say that, like, it should have been the practice. Because like I've given you the three categories if the mayors don't travel, what I'm used to. It's either the mayor who send the deputy mayor, who will send a councillor, and a senior councillor for that matter, or the CEO, depending on the scope of the invitation. So I indeed would appreciate the query you have about that.
Okay. Now, let me continue reading. That paragraph, where they repeat it again, says this year's delegation will have the opportunity to learn strategies to implement effective policies that address economic growth, citizen security, service delivery, and smart governance, as well as meet with a diversity of leaders in the United States. As a guest of Mayor Malik Law, again, they keep on emphasizing that she is not their guest, that she is the guest of the mayor. WDN cannot guarantee your attendance for all items on the agenda. In fact, they have been very much straightforward in the fact that she is not needed for all items on the agenda. Additionally, WDN will not be responsible for any cost incurred for your travel. You see, the varsity invited is the mayor.
Thank you.
And will cover all expenses. You understand? That's why I said early on before we went on break, that it appears as if she will be the one to write to these people or solicit that these people, the attendance of people that she want to accompany her. That's the evidence we have.
Yeah, that's
So it's not even the possibility. That is
explicit.
That's explicit, exactly. That's explicit here. You understand? So you will see in December 2018, you were invited. In 1 month after, whatever communication might have transpired, they wrote another letter inviting Ida, but strictly mentioning that she is not their guest, that she is the guest of the mayor. And they will not be put in relation to uh, expenses for it.
Yeah, because
And more so to say that they cannot even guarantee that she will attend all the events and items on the agenda, which means some items on the agenda would not be, they won't even allow her to sit.
okay, I give you an example. For example, if the mayor was not in a position to go and she proposed like the name of the CEO or the proposed name of the, for example, deputy mayor, they wouldn't have responded in such manner.
They will.
They wouldn't have responded in such manner because they will see that the caliber of the individual who is supposed to represent the mayor is not high enough for them, to include the individual in the things that they do. So it's coming back to, like what I used to tell her, that if at all you cannot go to such forums, choose somebody who's senior enough for the organizers of those events to honor their invitation to represent you.
How many people did the mayor bring along in council when she was elected? I know we have Makumba. Can you recall? What names do you have on top of your head?
No, let me bring in the letter. I think that will be more professional.
You will?
I have just to such letters.
Okay.
All the names of the people.
You want to answer this question later? You have to
Yes.
give it opportunity.
I want to give you a document.
Okay.
I think
But
that's more.
no problem. No problem. But I said Njai was brought by the mayor.
Yes, yeah.
Was she on contract?
I said to you, no, she was appointed.
Was she on appointed?
Yes.
Not on contract.
No, not on contract.
We also have Esedunjai, Mayor's PA, 2 days per diem allowance for Esedunjai and Esa Davo at GBP to 200 per day for visa processing.
Can I kindly have that?
Yes.
Please. Yeah, this is the trip by the said individual and the oddly
Yes.
to go to Dakar
For what?
to secure a visa for the mayor.
Okay. They only went with the PA.
Yes,
Two of them.
two of them, yeah.
Why?
One thing I know for certain is that the oddly is a very experienced man in terms of securing visas from the embassies in Dakar.
And the PA?
And the PA, I'm sure, must have been nominated by the mayor to go along with the oddly to secure the visa.
And why the two of them?
It was a decision from her.
Does that decision make sense to you?
No.
Why was it approved?
Well, no choice but to approve it. But if she feels that that's the best way for it to be obtained,
Come again?
maybe she felt that was the best way for the obtenance of the visa.
Very well. Any questions before I move to other issues? So far.
Um, I think what I want to ask is not in relation to what you may proceed. I will ask the
Who is Esa So?
It's also relating to what?
We have um, a voucher 1881 says paying financial support to Banjul Youth Committee for the Nakov Festival, $100,000.
So he's the president of the Banjul Youth Committee.
Youth. Okay. Was this payment cleared by audit?
I would not remember.
Let me give it to you.
Please.
It's two actually. Another one is $200,000. This one has no voucher number. The first you have, how many people authorized the payment? Did the finance director authorize the voucher?
You mean the one I'm holding?
Yes.
Yes, it's the director of finance.
Sign the voucher.
Yes.
I mean the voucher itself.
The check payment voucher, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the check, the voucher.
Yeah, the director of finance signed.
Signed. The audit.
I have not seen audit here. No.
You don't see audit there. Okay. Is there any reason why?
At times it could be logistical reasons. Could be logistical reasons, for what I understand.
Is the NECOF contribution budgeted for the exact amount that you give?
Yes.
The exact amount you give?
Yes.
The exact amount.
In fact, if I could recall the request that was made relating to the hosting of the NECOF, we could not compute all the amounts because it was nearly like a million. So we decided to take, like some, just this 200,000, another 100,000 as our contribution because it was getting towards the end of the year. So we
It
could
was
not,
what?
it was getting towards the end of the year.
Yes.
So we decided just to take, an amount and dedicate it to the contribution towards
We have one in 2022. Which year was that?
This was in 2022 December.
You also have another one, 200,000 in 2022 December, but we
Yes.
do not see the supporting documents.
This one that I have, the date is on the 8th of December 2022.
On the
8th of December.
this one is 16 December 2022.
So it's, mm,
There are no supporting documents for that one.
yes, I think I have, well, yeah, these are just the two documents here attached. But I have, in my documents, I recall I have the acknowledgement letter from the committee that stipulates all the financial contributions that we make.
Okay, we need you must get the copies from.
Yeah.
Yes. There was a period in there was a period on the in 2022 May where an amount of $200 was paid to Fatum Benga to upgrade the mayor's ticket from economic class to business class. You recall this?
Yes, I recall that.
This was in, well, the version doesn't have a date, that's why I'm struggling with the date. Yes, 2022 May. 2022 May. You recall this?
Yeah, can I kind of, please?
It's voucher number 0943. You recall that?
I recall now.
Where was that the case?
Okay, what we were expecting, and maybe it did not happen as such, was in the event where this amount was raised after having been given an explicit reason for that, because the ticket initially was supposed to have been an economy class ticket,
Yeah.
and then this request was made on behalf of the mayor by Fatimega for the additional cost of 200,000 for the upgrading to take place.
For the
Upgrading,
yes.
like if you pay for an economy class ticket and you want to,
Upgrade. Move to the
yeah,
to the first class.
yeah, it involves additional costs.
Of course.
Okay, so what we assumed was that after the transaction has been done, because the transaction cannot be done at the office. Normally, it's done at the airport. But
Yes.
then you would have to pay the money to the airline locally, and then when you go to the airport to start the journey,
And they upgrade.
then do whatever. So those transactions should have been brought to the attention of the council that following this money that was paid Fatbenga for the upgrading, this is the evidence of the upgrading having actually been realized.
No.
But if you look,
Was there upgrade in the first place?
there is no indication of it.
There's no upgrade. I think Fatou Benga
Yes.
testified there is no upgrade.
Yeah, because I used to work in the airlines. If there was an upgrade, it could have been brought to our attention.
There was no upgrade. Fatou Benga testified.
Yeah. I think,
200,000 was given to Fatou Benga. See, this was why I said initially that without, in the absence of the observance of due process, the risk of corruption increases. Do you understand that?
yeah, but in this case, to a large extent, okay, no, it should have gone through this should have been from the airline, the request and the conditions of the upgrade should have come from the airline directly to cancel. But whereas it was given to Fatimbenga, still they should have been in a position to give evidence, because if the upgrading really took place, then you are not going to find it difficult to have any documentation from the airline, because even on your boarding pass. If they had attached a boarding pass for business class, it could have been visible. So I agree with you. There seems to have been no upgrading.
Now, the point is, it doesn't appear that the upgrade even happened. It appeared as if the money went to individual pockets. You understand?
Mm.
So that when it was flagged, it's only in 2024 that the mayor gave the money back to Fatou Benga to pay it back to council. You recall that?
We had one.
Yes, in 2024. So there was no upgrade.
Yeah,
We stand to be corrected.
no, I have no correction to make. I told you that if an upgrading had taken place, even a boarding pass
Yes,
could
you
have
have been
could
shown.
have could have made the difference.
Now, if there is no upgrade since 2022, then the 200 is how what would you be your best guess as to where it has gone to?
My best bet would be the fact that it was not paid.
Yes, and because it was not paid and it was kept for 2 years.
Yes.
Kept for 2 years or used?
Because it kept no use. I really wouldn't know.
They used. That's the issue.
But what's clear is the fact that there was no upgrading. I
Yes.
think that's very important.
Yes. So there is no upgrading. It means it has gone to the pockets of people, individual. That's the issue. So if this can be done, two-item analysis can be very much important in Banjo. You and I will agree,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can do a lot of things with two-item analysis.
Yeah.
If you decide to pay tuition fees, you can pay even to university,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
2, 3, 4 students for a whole year. Is that not the case?
Yes.
Yes. But just for you to pay it back after 2 years when it was queried and no evidence of upgrading shows you how we use public funds. See, when the system is porous, when there are leakages in the system, it is subject to abuse. Is that not the case? But the mayor will be back. Maybe she can provide an upgrade, evidence of upgrade. So actually, Fatumega was also there was a TV lights, I think.
Sorry, I don't get that.
There was a period where $93,000 was paid to her, Fatumega, for TV LED screen for video projection, PA and sound system, tents and chairs. $93,000 is for the it's an impress as well for a town hall meeting at Banjul North. $93,000 is for that to not pass through procurement process. Would be unlawful, correct?
Yes.
The same $8,150 is for the cost of credit for the mayor to facilitate official communications. Why was that?
Can you please repeat the thing?
An amount of $8,150 was paid to Fatu Benga. Says bill disbursement for the cost of credit for the mayor to facilitate official communication.
And what were the attachments to the request?
We have um, pictures or screenshots of data allegedly procured not by the procurement unit, by people that work for the people that work under the mayor. You understand?
Yeah.
Now the request reads, on behalf of the mayor, Banjul, I write to request $8,150 to buy credit from a result for airtime calls and convert part of it to data bundle for online communication for the month of March 2022. The airtime calls and data bundle will help her to participate in all the online meetings she is invited, both international and local. Will enable her to access her mails that need urgent response. You guys don't have internet connection in BCC?
Now we have, but then it was not very regular.
Was it regular? What does it mean?
Pardon?
What does it mean when you say it's not regular?
It's not regular. I think it has something to do with technical issues, which allows the other part to have a better reception compared to the part that
You fix it.
they were in.
You,
We've been to Camtel one, twice to deal with the matter.
you fix it. 8,150 is for what? For a month or for a week? For a day?
It certainly can't be a day.
I don't know.
Certainly cannot be.
We would not know that.
Yeah.
You only want to tell us. That would it be?
It would,
Is this an allocation
no, I
that
think,
the mayor is entitled to?
no, this was a one-off request. It was not like an allocation. We didn't have a specific payment called data bundle.
So this is not in the budget. It was payment made outside the budget.
Could be in the budget.
If you say could be, I've asked you to produce the budget.
Yeah, it could be in the budget.
When will you produce the budget, Mr. Batchily?
For which years?
Budget from 2018 to 2023.
2018 to 2023.
Yes. Yes, 2023.
Okay.
Because I have 2021 and 2023. Yeah.
So I'll have to
2022,
2018,
18, 19,
2019,
and
20,
2022.
21, 22.
We have 20.
You have 21. And
And we have 23.
okay.
By the way, let me give you this budget estimates. I want you to tell me where the payments to Rafella are captured. But let me first ask the question: do you have the payments made, payments for Rafella captured in the budget before you look for something that you can say?
I- my belief was that the Raffaella, some of these Raffaella expenditures should have been sourced from the women's empowerment budget. Whether it was actually the case, maybe I think the director of finance would be the best person to attest to that.
Show us, please. Show us, please. Is it there?
Yeah, I pinpointed the women empowerment fund.
You what?
I pinpointed the women empowerment fund.
So you just hold it and you just guide us. What do you have for 2021? The amount for the women empowerment.
We had, no, this is for 2023. That's the budget for
Okay,
2023.
go on.
And then the budgeted figure was 2 million, 2.2 million.
2.2 million.
Yes.
That's for 2023
Yeah.
and 2021.
What do you have here? It's 2020.
I'm asking that because only in 2022,
Yeah,
the
the budgeted figure.
in 2022, if you are sourcing this from the women empowerment,
Yes.
the the office of the mayor and the Rafella chapter members, they incurred expenses of 1,931,442.61 only
Yeah.
on travel expenses
Yeah.
for 2022.
Yeah.
So, for instance, we have a budget of 22.1 or 2.2 million. You have 1.9 million only for the mayor and Rafella.
Yes.
Which women are you guys empowering? Or are they the reason why why you have the 2.2 million?
No, this women empowerment was here before the fella.
Yes.
You
But
can
they are now
you can positively now say, as you are doing, that getting to have one and a half was targeted for the fella.
95%,
Yes.
98% maybe.
Yes.
Sorry, lead counsel, I want clarification. Um, I seem to be understanding something differently. You said the source of funding. We asked, you know, is it captured in the budgets? You said these monies are captured in the women empowerment. But are you using the women subhead of women empowerment interchangeably with Raffaella? Because if that is the case, you must have that information in the notes, in your explanatory notes, in the budget, to say that the women empowerment subhead is where you are funding Raffaella activities. Did you have that in the budget?
You're very right, but that was not it.
So I will be convinced that the subhead of women empowerment, that is where you subsume the Raffaella expenditure. Because if I don't want to preempt my question, because that is why I said you bring us the resolution and the notes to know. Because if the council has decided that the council should take responsibility in financing Raffaella activities, it and it has said it should be provided for in the budget, it should have had a sub-budget head to say that this is expenditure for Raffaella activities. Is that not what it's supposed to be? For the purposes of accounting.
Accounting, yes.
For the purposes, because if that was done, you will not have the situation where the national audit will be querying you.
No, I quite agree with you.
So then your assertion that the funding, the subhead of that women empowerment subhead in the budget is not where you are sourcing the funding from for the Raffaella activities. You were just taking money from any of the available this is how to call it votes to 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 um, to fund
Okay.
Raffaella activities.
May
Is
I,
that not the case?
that's the case, but I will put it to you. That's the case.
These things into
No,
perspective because what you are explaining
I agree.
is not answering his question. So what you have in the budget is different from what he is asking you.
Yeah,
Because our understanding is that if you have a budget, it has to be very clear.
yes.
But in this budget, this empowerment connotes a different understanding if somebody picks up your budget to read it.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
Yes.
Thank you. You can proceed.
Yes, Mr. Bashir. So we have in 2022, 1.9 million, correct?
Yes.
Just for the Raffaella travels.
Okay,
And also the mail. Yes, yes.
can I make an intervention?
Yes.
Especially in agreement to the chairperson, what she's saying. But then where we fell short of giving a proper explanation was the fact that, like when such requests come to my desk, and then we see that I should be in a position to approve them. Where we failed as a team was that we assume that if you had reached the director of finance, the director of finance should be in a position to make the sourcing of the votes in which these expenditures were to be taken care of. I think as a group or as a team, we fell short of that, and especially with in the absence of any kind of constructive explanatory notes. I think it further, like made it difficult for a neutral person or independent person to assess. I think I agree with that.
No, no, the director of finance, the the way you guys operate in council, the administration, is such that the director of finance cannot be in isolation in relation to responsibility. Neither you nor the director of finance will be, um, for the most part of it, independently and solely responsible for most things. Well, remember, you oversee what the director of finance does.
Yeah, but that's why
And he also
as
should serve as a check and balance to you what you do.
as a team, that's where we fell short as a team.
Exactly.
I made sure that I mentioned that as a team.
Involving, including
Myself,
the mayor also for every expenditure. Now, we have, for instance, Hazard Unjai, a fellow coordinator. We have visa application, $15,000. Let me just give you back this voucher. And the payment of visa processing fees for the mayor and delegate to travel to Korea. That's $26,470. We have the disbursement as council's contribution towards the Rafella Gambia National Chapter, 0967, $30,000. Now, by way of example, just go through these vouchers again. What is the revenue here?
pardon me,
Sorry, where is that money supposed to be tapped from?
from the overseas travel. Well, from the overseas travel.
Overseas travel.
Yeah.
If it says overseas travel, then where does the legality for a fellow come? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
Yes. So now it's not the women empowerment, it's the overseas travel.
There's another vote called the overseas travel.
Yes, but which one? The first you said women empowerment. Now you said that that would not suffice. Now it's the overseas travel, you mean? But they are not staff. The fellow members are not staff of council.
No, it's only, here, the mayor that's covered under the overseas travel.
Okay, how about the fellow members? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I'm hearing very well.
Okay. Now, where does it fit in the budget? Which one? The Rafella payment.
No, the Rafella payment here is by virtue of the coordinator traveling with the mayor.
By virtue of the?
The coordinator traveling with the mayor
Yes. But
to
where does it fit in the budget?
to attend the UCLD.
Yes, yes. But where does it fit in the budget?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were looking at the various possibilities of budgetary support for these things.
Right.
So that's the reason why I first talked about the women's empowerment budget, and then following the reaction of the chairperson, I could also agree to that there was not a clear-cut distinction as to this one is for this one is for that. So I think that was
If
not,
there's no clear cut,
yeah.
it means it is not budgeted for.
Well, I'm not talking from that point of view because I think when we looked at the memorandum,
Yes.
there was an area that stipulated council's collaboration with Rafella
In line, it has to be in line with the budget.
in line with some of their
But it has to be in line with the budget.
foreign-based activities.
It has to be in line with the budget.
Yeah. So then came the issue of the various budgetary sources,
Yes.
which I agreed when she mentioned the fact that they were not explicit. They were not explicit in terms of their separation.
Let me read to you again why you will agree, of course, every expenditure must be in line with the budget.
Sure. So yeah,
You agree with that?
I agree.
It's very clear in the manual in relation to the authority for expenditure, where the first line reads authority to incur expenditure is vested in council through budget approval. Correct?
Yeah.
And so where do you place that? Well, if you say it's not very clear cut, it means not budgeted.
No, I'm saying with regards to the budgetary provisions, the budget heads. That's what I was reacting.
Yes.
Because you the alternatives. I was talking about the alternatives.
Right.
You have first the travel budget.
Yes.
Overseas travel budget exists, and also the women empowerment budget exists.
Yes.
I'm just talking about the various sources.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
But if it does not fall within the women empowerment, it certainly did not fall within the overseas travel. It has a lot to do with staff council.
Yes.
So you have to guide us to the legality of those payments.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to do here. Because, like I say, the main deficiency we had here
Yes.
at the time of executing this request was the fact that
The law requires, and the budgetary control 310 says of the manual that it is the role of the chief executive and the director of finance of council to A, ensure that expenditure and revenue targets remain on course as far as possible. B, establish an efficient accounting system for recording actual results and comparing them with the budget. And C, initiate corrective actions whenever necessary. So every expenditure must be in line with budget allocations, right? And so the Raffaella expenditures cannot be clearly uh, attributed to any budget head, can it be?
um,
Let me just come in at this point. In 20, this memorandum was signed on the 3rd day of October 2019, correct?
yeah.
Now, in 2018, was there an allocation for women empowerment in the 2018 budget?
I cannot
It is
recall.
there.
I cannot recall one
It is there.
for 2018.
Yeah. Is it there?
I cannot sit here and just recall. To be
No.
honest.
Please note and let us see whether women empowerment was in the 2018 budget.
Okay.
And let me just also say that you referred us to the provision in the memorandum.
Yeah.
Did you subject this to legal advice? Because the reason why I asked you to read for us um, how you committed BCC to be funding Rafella activities, you did read the subheading on purpose and commitment. And what I found interesting is that this, in the opening paragraph of that clause, it says this MOU commits the Banjul City Council to facilitate funding of activities of Rafella where and when possible.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, did you subject this to legal advice for you to know the legal implication of what we were doing?
Not that I remember, ma.
Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, Mr. Batchily. Are we together?
Yeah.
Now, there was a special audit of Banjul State Council for the year 2021-2022, correct?
Yes.
By the National Audit Office. This is what it has to say with respect to the unauthorized Rafella allowances. That during the audit, it was noted that monthly allowances were paid to 4 members of Rafella Gambia chapter from council's funds without authority. That these allowances amounted to a total of 372,000 in the year 2021, 359,400 in 2022, therefore being a grand total of $731,400. This allowance is not recognized as a recurrent or administrative expense of the country. Also, there was no authority provided for this payment, nor was it part of the budget for both period. The council responded that these payments are based on an existing MOU between Rafella Gambia chapter and the council signed in 2019, and that the MOU requires the council to support the operational cost of Rafella, the Gambia chapter at times and when possible. However, our further audit procedure identified that the MOU between Rafella and Gambia chapter and Banjul City Council was signed between the mayor and Mustapha Batchily. We discussed this.
Yes.
They raised the issue of conflict of interest. To say that this indicates risk of conflict of interest. In addition, the content of the MOU did not specify monthly allowance payments to Rafella members. Were you giving them monthly allowance?
Yes, we're giving them monthly allowances.
On what basis?
By virtue of what I read
May I please have the MOU?
in the MOU.
Of what you read in
the MOU.
it requires you must give them monthly allowance.
Yeah, it's stipulated there.
Please, can you please read it again? And you even started paying Rafella before Rafella was even registered in 2022. Correct?
Can I kindly come to that? Let me just.
Please. It says proposal and commitment. Purpose or commitment. This MOU commits the Banjul City Council to facilitate funding of activities of Rafella where and when possible. And the Banjul City Council therefore shall contribute to the operational cost of Rafella by way of paying allowances to Rafella coordinators, that is Rafella National Coordinator, Rafella Regional Coordinator, Rafella Regional Coordinator of Lower River Region, Rafella Accounts Manager. The staff of Rafella shall be responsible for the following. Now, it did not say monthly allowances. It says paid of allowances. It's not the same, is it?
Yeah.
Is it the same? Why did you interpret that to mean monthly?
Well, we interpreted to be monthly.
Why?
But that was what our understanding.
But it didn't say monthly.
But it did not say monthly. No.
Okay, let's proceed. What the staff is to do. This staff of Rafella shall be responsible for the following: coordinate the administration of Rafella, preparation of project proposals, implementations of projects, overall operations of Rafella both at national and international level, supervision of Rafella chapter, attending Rafella forums, coordination between Rafella, the Gambia, and government and other stakeholders. Now, the Rafella itself, Mr. Batchily, you see, the people that you had even agreed by the MOU, not to talk about the conflict yet, is to pay for allowances of the national coordinator. Who is that?
The national coordinator was that man.
Raffaella, the regional coordinator for Carnival municipality. Who is that?
I don't know her in person.
You don't have that.
I don't know her in person.
Do you have a regional coordinator for Carnival? I think it's has grown to that level.
Somebody is representing them in Carnival.
As regional coordinator?
Yes.
For Carnival?
For Carnival.
No. Raffaella, regional coordinator for Lower River Region?
I've seen them as people, but I cannot tell you who's.
Raffaella accounts manager?
He's not normal with the council anymore.
There was no structure. It's supposed to be.
It's going to be
a national issue, right?
Yes.
But it was never.
I agree with that.
Exactly. So number one, the proposal was defeated.
I agree.
Correct?
Yes. Yes.
So now why do you still continue to pay when the proposal was defeated?
Yeah, because these people are continuously serving them. So
serving?
They're continuously working with them.
Working with who?
With Rafella, with Banjika.
They're working for one person.
Yeah.
For one person.
What?
And that's it.
Okay. But whatever they're working with us with Banjika.
They're working for one person. That's why it seems.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the
Yes.
the documents verification.
Yes.
I think I need to shed light on that.
Did you do what?
The documentation.
Yes.
I think I need to shed light on that.
Yes, go ahead.
Like, for example, the payment of the allowances.
Yes.
I think what carried us away was when we saw them registering with the GRA for the tin.
For the tin?
Yeah.
Mr. Batchily, you're supposed to be more experienced than that.
But for the tin, so we assume that automatically they would have continued the process of doing all the registration.
Wait for them to continue.
Necessary. Yes, that's why I'm admitting to that.
Wait for them to continue.
Yeah.
So what happened here is Raffaella was supposed to be a national.
Yes.
And serve the national interest, women development, correct?
Yeah.
Not supposed to be for only a certain class of people in one area, correct?
Yes.
And so you sign as CEO. The mayor doubles as is it the president?
Yeah, the president, yeah.
Yes, President Raffaella Gambian chapter.
Yeah.
Right? It's not Banjul chapter.
Yes.
It's Gambian chapter.
Yeah.
Right? And so being the mayor and the president of Raffaella, maybe they should have a secretary general or national coordinator to sign this.
Yes.
And you are the CEO and the CEO for the mayor as well. And would it not appear to be a conspiracy to just have the activities of Raffaella, even though the proposal is defeated technically because it's not a national national agenda anymore, but to have it pass through the proper channel? Was it discussed at council's level?
Yeah, that's where I was coming to. If you see the reason why we were involved in one way or the other with these Rafella matters.
In what?
We were involved in their matters. Was the fact that first of all, it was brought to the attention of the council. The scope of working with Rafella itself was brought to the council, and the council went for it.
Did they pass a resolution to this effect?
Yes, to support it, to work with Rafella. But notwithstanding,
Did they pass a resolution?
yeah, there was an agreement for the council to work with Rafella.
Where is it?
We'll check in the minutes.
They passed a resolution.
But definitely, I recall that the council agreed to work with the Rafella.
Work in what sense?
Maybe if I bring the minutes, we can together check, because definitely that has gone out of my mind right now. But I'm just saying this were the basis on which we were involved with them. It was brought to council agreed to it, and then it was the basis of us having a cooperation with them.
If council agreed to it, of course you will have the preparation documents necessary. But if council agreed to it, then you went for the subsequent budget allocations, budget preparations. You have this incorporated in your budget. That committed funds of council when it is not budgeted for.
Yeah, that's what I agreed with you earlier on. That
Right.
maybe no, we just saw the first process of legislation or legalization of their status,
Yes.
which was the TIN number. And we assume that, they'll go all the way to be able to complete the necessary legislation processes to make it as valid as possible.
Was the mayor present in council when this was discussed?
Yeah, she was the one, in fact, who brought it to the council.
Do you know she was to recuse herself from the meeting as an interested party? Going by the act, conflict of interest.
My 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 understanding here
Is what?
My understanding here was the fact that she was the sitting mayor.
She was there?
She was the sitting mayor,
Yes.
and then she got the post of the presidency of Rafella,
Right.
and then brought it to the council
Right.
to be able to have the approval to work with them. For me, that was my understanding.
Yes. Yes. Let's go by that. Now it is tabled before council.
Yes.
So 29 conflict of interest rates, no member of council shall take part in a discussion of any matter before a council or committee of a council which he or she may directly or indirectly have any pecuniary interest.
Oh, that's it. That's surely the case then.
So again, the issue of conflict of interest is very valid. You are the head of two institutions. You have a national coordinator. You should have a national coordinator who would do all communications in this regard. Not to tie council's funds, make you pay every travel they have, Mr. Batchily. Paying millions to Rafella. Even MOU says where and when you can pay. Even if you go by the MOU, disregarding the budget, but it appears as if whatever comes for Rafella is paid. Whatever comes for Rafella is paid. In fact, when it is to travel, say by Idanjai to the US, when they are not even invited, you pay. As a Tunjai, you pay.
No, lead council, I think I need to rectify it.
Please do that. Go ahead.
I think was a staff of council, not because everything you do it for Rafella. I think I need to make clarity on that.
They pay.
You have to pay.
Yeah, but it was on a Rafella. The voucher I read has to do with Rafella.
Yes.
We read it here.
Yeah.
Yes. So even if she's a staff of council and the trip is for Rafella, we are interested in the Rafella part. That's my point.
No, that's why I'm coming. The trip was not purposely for Rafella. I think that's the
Going by the invitation.
One of the there were two. There were two people making the travel. There's the mayor and the Rafella coordinator.
Going by the invitation.
Yes.
Yes. But we have.
Are we clear on that?
On what?
On the fact that the two of them, it was the mayor and the Rafella coordinator.
Right.
Who traveled.
To where? But not council's travel.
To coordinate.
Not to represent council.
Yes.
To represent?
No, UCLG, council is part of UCLG.
Council is?
It's part of UCG, United States and Local Governments of Africa.
No, let me just read to you again what I have. For instance, $15,000 is visa application for the Lord Mayor and Asunjai Rafella coordinator.
Yes.
Rafella coordinator. That is the particulars of payment being request and impressed for visa presentation for the Lord Mayor and Asunjai in bracket Rafella coordinator. What does it mean?
That's what I'm saying. She was representing Raffaella
Yes.
as part of the travel.
As
part of the travel.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's my point.
That's what I want.
My point is the invitation, is the travel, the purpose of the travel.
Yeah.
So you have the mayor and you have the Jai. Both are council staff and members of Raffaella as well.
No. SNJ is not the council staff member. She was for the Raffaella.
So Raffaella doesn't work for council.
The SNJ that you mentioned was for Raffaella.
There are two SNJs.
Yes. The SNJ, the PA,
Yes.
was the one who went to Senegal.
Right.
For the purpose of acquiring the visas.
Visa.
For the mayor and SNJ who was with Raffaella.
Raffaella.
That's what I want.
SNJ who was with Raffaella for the travels that they have with the mayor, that's for Raffaella's staff. Right?
No, I think it's still not current staffs here.
Voucher 0967.
The meeting, if you look at the invitation for the meeting,
right,
it was meant for a program by UCLD.
Yes.
You know, Panel is a member of UCLD.
Which SNJ is this one?
You know, the SNJ, the PA.
Just go through that voucher.
No, I can help you without going to the voucher. SNJ,
yes,
was the one who went to Dakar.
Yes.
For the purpose of processing these two visas.
Yes.
One for the mayor.
Yes.
And then the other one for the Raffaella coordinator.
Right.
I think now you understand.
Of course. Now the one you have with you.
This one is the Raffaella coordinator. Purpose.
Yes. For Raffaella purposely. And which messenger is that?
The one you've given here?
The one that works for Raffaella.
Yeah, it's the one who works for Raffaella.
Okay.
And if you look at the attached letter,
yes,
it's like written to the Lord Mayor of Banjul.
Yes.
And President of Raffaella.
Right.
The national chapter.
Yes.
And you have here CEO, please facilitate to help the representative of various women.
Yes.
That's what we have here.
Which travel is that for?
This one is for Raffaella.
Okay. And is the SNJ that is the coordinator?
Yes.
And does not work for council?
But does not work for council, no.
So it's different from the SNJDP?
It's different from SNJDP.
Okay. Now look at this one now. The one version number 220000926, where you have SNJ Mayor's personal assistance, PA. Right? Yes. Which SN is that one?
This one is the PA.
Okay.
To the mayor.
So is that travel the area council's travel or the for Raffaella?
No. This is the council's travel. Because in the sense that she is the staff.
That's why you get it wrong. Now check the invitation.
Can I read it?
Yes.
Okay, it says here being payment for 2 days per diem allowances for Aisha.
Not that one. Let me guide you to. I have turned the page. Where it says Invitation letter, World Summit of Local and Regional Leaders, to whom it may concern, 2022 UCLG World Congress Organization Organizing Committee officially invites name Esetunjaya, organization Rafella the Gambian Chapter.
Yes, the same as Abinjai, with the Odri, were the ones who went to Dhaka to secure the visas for the mayor and then the Raffaella coordinator to go to South Korea. So the travel that was effected by the PA and the Odri
Who was for?
that's 100% cancelled because
Right.
there were council staff who were sent to Dhaka to procure the visas.
The fee $2,000 is $2,744 is paid
Yes,
to Esetunjaya.
yes,
What as PA here? Was she only facilitating for the other Esetunjaya?
yes. She was getting the visas processed for the other asset in the Raffaella coordinator.
Okay. All right. Now it's clear.
Yes. Let me just um, clarify one thing. Now, based on my understanding on the discussion that has just ensued, the Raffaella was supposed to be a standalone independent organization. Is that correct?
In the Gambia.
Yes.
Yes.
Dealing with elected women,
Women's representatives.
elected representatives.
Yes.
All right. So now my understanding is that these two vouchers relate to Raffaella expenditure. Is that the correct position?
Okay, maybe I will not say they were not 100% Raffaella
Yes, but
spread with him.
you said the council is a member of the
UCLG.
UCLG.
LG. Yes.
We understand that.
Yeah.
And the reason why we want to differentiate this is the issue of expenditure.
Yeah.
Yes, this one, I said to you, is working for the council, but it went to do transaction for and on behalf of Raffaella. And it is council funds that are used to facilitate that activity.
Big deal.
So, yes, so now if I could understand what you are saying that you are justified in spending the money because council is a member of you, UCLG.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? You are justified in spending council's money because council is a member of UCLG.
LG. Yeah.
Is that correct? Is that what?
No. I think I have to make clarification here.
Yes, please make clarification.
The clarification is the direct clarification for the case of the mayor
Yes,
is representing council directly at the UCLG summit in South Korea.
yes,
So she's representing the council directly.
yes.
And then Besatinyai,
So it will be correct
yes,
if council funds are expended
yes,
for her to attend such a meeting.
yes,
Is that correct?
yes.
All right. Now I understand. Yes, go on.
Now for the other one, which is the coordinator,
Yes,
Raffaella coordinator. That's where now the dispute comes in
yes.
because they were saying that like she shouldn't have been the visa for her shouldn't have been processed by the council.
All right. Now I understand. Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
So actually, I have um, 4 vouchers here. So payments made to you. The first is medical support, $2,000. The second is for personal loan to be deducted from your monthly salary, $75,000. You have another one, the same amount. we have $160,000 as personal loan granted to be deducted from your monthly salary in 2020. Yes, please go through those vouchers.
Yes, Lead Council, I've seen all of them.
Yeah, let me have it admitted. Okay, sorry, admitted. Yes, the first one is $466,000. Can you shed more light on this?
Yeah, these were all loans that I took.
The
These were all loans that I took. It's authentic.
the notes that you took.
They are loans that I took.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I'm saying that these were loans that were given to me.
N- Note
Loans.
loans.
Yeah,
Sorry. Okay.
yeah, these are all loans that I took.
You
And,
went. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and I have to accept the fact that it was not all loans that were based on one loan getting finished and then I take the other one. And I also have to accept that has happened. And till the time that I'm talking to you today now, my balance of all the loans that I took from council is of an amount of $89,000.
That's what is left,
Yes,
and you're still paying.
yes. If I'm coming again, I'll bring the balance that I have to settle.
Now, the other thing is it not proper to have, for instance, um, a committee that looks into this, the granting or the refusal of loan? Because you will see
Yes,
that as CEO or finance director or let's say mayor, if you have to send application to yourself, when I saw this, it looked a bit um, interesting when you applied for a loan to yourself. I think one of it was addressed to the, I don't know, wait,
no, I only,
that of finance?
yes, I address all my loan applications to you.
To that of finance.
Yes.
But who asked the, in council, you're the one who approves loans, right?
Okay, let me start with the procedure. Normally, when people apply to me, I minute it to the director of finance
Yes,
who checks on the feasibilities
yes.
and then after gives me go ahead to approve it. So in my own case, I apply it to the director of finance for the loans.
For the loans.
Yes, and then it is granted to me. But eventually, afterwards, we decided. I don't know whether it's in place right now, but before I left, we had agreed at the management level meeting to have a loans committee at least.
Now there was one where $50,000 was paid for you by way of medical support.
Yes.
Can you explain that?
Yeah, I had medical issues with Medicaid.
No, I do not mean you should state the what was or what is wrong or what's wrong with you as in the process. So you can just stop at saying you've had medical issues.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know.
You don't have to be specific in relation to the medical condition.
Yeah, I just want to agree to the fact that I was given medical support.
But the process that was followed, that's what I'm asking.
The process that was followed was that I had, interestingly enough, I have not seen the attachment to the letter that I wrote the director of finance,
Right.
but I brought in a document from Medicare and attached to it, and then seek the support.
Okay.
But apparently, I'm not seeing it. But if during the course of the last stages of the uh, audit exercise, I still have those documents with me.
I will not go any further unless the coaches will have a question on this. Since you have already admitted that the process is wrong, of course, number one, that you have not exhausted your previous loans and that you were given loan. And number two, even for the medical support, based on your rank as CEO, would have been proper, like you said, like you suggested. You have structure in council. You have a, um, a committee that looks into this and then approves, even if it's $1 million. If they approve it for you in the right manner, that becomes okay. Do you understand that?
Totally agree.
No, it's not the amount. You might have been more entitled to. They might have approved, let's say, even $1 million to you for medical support, but the right way. But if you approve it yourself, because technically you're approving it yourself, because the Director of Finance does not have the ultimate approving authority. You understand? So much so that even if he says yes, you are the ultimate boss. So a junior cannot approve for a senior. That's not good administration, is it?
I agree.
Exactly. So that's the point. So it's technically you are the one who is approving.
I agree.
And so that would not tell well, Mr. Batchily. Any questions for Mr. Batchily? I think we're done with the vouchers for today, unless we move to other issues.
Is he coming back tomorrow?
Yes, Mr. Batchily, we have two or three
Yeah.
three main issues to discuss with Mr. Batchily tomorrow, and then we can give him a break. But he will have to come back with his friend, the Lord Mayor.
Just have one question, one or two questions. Um, Mr. Batchily, there were issues of accounted checks that were made, payments to the acting finance manager, Mohammed Chan, amounting to 5,199,550.36. And up to the time you left office, were these issues resolved?
I want to start from somewhere.
To know whether these issues were resolved or they were not resolved.
Yeah, because there have been some developments following.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
but at the time you were leaving,
Yes.
where was this amount resolved in trying to provide evidence?
As at the time I was leaving the city council, it wasn't. But of recently,
Now, the next question is, there has been a lot of issues of caste suppression. This, I am taking all of this from your state.
yeah,
Now, there are particularly at the trade license collectors, amounting to 457,450. And this query was made to you. As at the time you were leaving, was this amount resolved by making sure that the collectors pay this suppressed amount? Because this query was made to you.
Can you kindly specify the time that this thing was made?
2021, 2022.
Yeah.
Yes. As at the time you were leaving, was this 457,450 were the trade license collectors that were concerned made to pay this money? Is it?
I have to find. I have to.
Please write it down and find it.
Yeah.
And the last question for today, on the issue of the unpaid advances on salaries amounting to 541,686.07. As at the time you were leaving, um, was this amount paid back to the coffers of council?
No, I think
This is in 2021, 2022.
the payments for this mostly came during last year,
Last,
beginning of last year, 2024.
do you have the evidence showing that this 541,686.07 has been paid?
There has been some payments. I'm not too sure where is it
Final
now.
payment.
Can you kindly go back to the one for the license? In which you said is it 400?
457,000,
Yeah.
450. 457,450.
And it was 2021.
Yes. And the last question, so the 225,800, which was the hiring of utility car that Mr. Momodu Kamara was supposed to have paid back before you left. Did he pay this amount back to the coffers of council?
No, I'm not too sure unless I check.
Please check and reconfirm. So it's a convenient point to stop. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you so much. You were very nice.
Thank you.